America's two largest teachers' unions have funneled nearly $50 million away from classrooms and straight into left-wing, liberal, progressive political causes since 2022. That's according to a new watchdog report.
Take the National Education Association. One expert saying it spends less than 10% of its budget on representing teachers, yet pours nearly 4 times that into left-leaning political groups, lobbying, and political donations.
So who are the teachers' unions fighting for exactly? Because while they bankroll Democrats, teachers are left spending nearly $1,000 per year in classroom supplies out of their own pockets.
Joining us now, former Education Department Press Secretary and Defense of Freedom Institute spokesperson, Angela Morabito. Angela, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, more than 40 million on politics and overwhelmingly to politics, political groups on the left over the last several years. Obviously, you go to a Democratic convention, you meet a lot of members of teachers' unions, maybe not surprising, but for those teachers, and I think there are a few who are not left-wing Democrats, are they asking, what are you spending on representation? That's the point of the union, right?
Absolutely. Well, we all learned painfully during COVID that teacher unions are not there for students and families. But we're learning now that teacher unions aren't really here for their teacher members either. These are first and foremost Democratic lobbying groups that shovel piles of cash every year into radical progressive causes, while teachers are left dipping into their own pockets just to buy school supplies. They take money out of teachers' paychecks and they funnel them in to radical politics.
Angela, but what changes it? Because you can't turn on the TV without seeing Randy Weingarten with her mouth agape, squawking, liberal propaganda or claptrap. And I remember when the National Guard came into D.C. again, it allowed under the Home Act, because the president controls it, she put out a statement talking about the teachers in the district, never mentioned the kids and the violence, but that speaks to what these leaders care about. They don't care about the children and education, they care about their own power.
Absolutely, Dagan. That's why we see these people raking in salaries well into the 6 figures, while great teachers get stuck in schools where they don't get rewarded for their hard work. I think it is so important to remember what these teacher unions really do spend money on, which is not just progressive politics, but on trying to keep students trapped in failing schools. Their business model relies on families not having school choice. So as school choice programs expand across the country, and with the federal scholarship tax credit coming in 2027, thanks to that one big beautiful bill, they're panicking. It's no wonder why they're squawking on TV, because their business model of keeping families captive is very quickly becoming obsolete. So that is how we change this for the better. One, we get rid of the Department of Education and we send money straight to the states. Let more of it reach the classrooms. But also we give parents choice where they can go to schools that do prioritize student learning.
And speaking of choice, for, again, those teachers who are not part of the left-wing political movement, since 2018, Janus decision from the Supreme Court, they've no longer been forced to pay dues. Are we seeing a sizable number of teachers saying, maybe this union isn't giving me a lot of value here?
We are. I'm seeing teachers opt out in droves. And just personally, I've heard from teachers saying, yeah, I sat through that union presentation every year and realized they were just not making any sense, or the union never did anything to help me when my classroom was violent. In fact, they push policies like restorative justice and equity that keep classrooms in chaos. They actually prevent student learning. These are groups that lobby against academic standards and standardized testing at every turn. They know the schools are failing, and they're intent on keeping them that way.
And Mondani is running on a platform of getting rid of charter schools. Angela Morabito, great to see you.
Thank you.